Cats, Cool Dudes, and Crescentio Somerville's Sexy Panenka. Welcome to We Are Leeds, the show where we discuss our love of Leeds.
We all love Leeds.
We do. How are you, Mr. Ben?
I'm very well, mate. How are you?
I am not too bad at all. We had a good week, right?
Oh, we had a very good week. Half an hour longer than we needed, but it's taking our stride, don't we?
Yes, not too bad. Not too bad. So we're on the tower, Southampton. How do you rate our chances of catching them sooner rather than later?
Up until about 70 minutes yesterday, I was a lot more positive. But then they just seem to dispatch the problem. And they seem to keep dispatching the problem. And it's all right, everyone's saying, oh, it's got to end, it's got to end. Well, at some point it does have to end, yeah. But it don't have to be this season. Arsenal proved that in 2004 or whatever year it was.
I understand.
Leicester proved it. Everyone was saying it about Leicester, it's got to end, it's got to end. It didn't end. But all we can do is keep doing what we're doing.
Well, you don't play 10 football matches in once, do you? You're playing one at a time.
Exactly. We only need them to draw. And then it's in our hands.
And they play Leicester. I believe they go to Ipswich.
Yeah. They're West Brom next away.
There you go. I'd like to point out a comment we got earlier in the day. No, actually, it was about 6 minutes ago from Glenn Hayes. I didn't realise until last week that you lads had your own show these days. Good to hear your opinions again. Well, thank you, Glenn. Very kind of you.
Thank you, Glenn.
Very kind. So
you're always welcome.
Yeah, of course you are. Of course you are. Also in the news, I got some memes about it, but we'll talk about it. The blue card initiative.
Oh dear. Why blue? Why not orange? Is it freezing? You're frozen out of the game. It's just, look, I can see their logic in it, but inevitably it's just going to create time wasting and gamesmanship and shit. Yeah, just leave it as it is. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the red and yellow card system's not really broken.
Nah. Well,
refereeing's broken. Fix that.
My first thought, to be honest, Ben, was you can barely control matches with 2 cards, let alone 3.
Yeah.
But hello to Russ Morgan. Thank you for joining us. So basically, what I'd found was when you have to put a defender in net for 10 minutes because the goalie got blue carded. Because no one actually knows how this is what's going to transpire in the event of that happening. For example, it was a question that was asked on the stoop on Friday, and we were all just making guesses. No one really knew. It's not been made clear.
Do they know?
I'd be too afraid to find out what they know, to be honest, in IFAB. But yeah, that's what the blue card could potentially look like. That is a real DVD cover.
But I always wondered, right, if it's England's game, am I right? Football is an English game. It's invented by us. So how the fuck did it get in Swiss hands? Where did FIFA come from and who put them in charge?
You know what I think it is? It's because they're perceived to be like neutral arbiters, but it's just become they're really good with money and fiddling. So yeah. Anyway, there's a constant risk of bruising one's big toe playing football. Should we bring in ballet shoes? Why not, Glenn? And our main man, regular viewer, of course, John LUFC Garside. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Hello.
Evening, John.
We'll see. The blue card will end up with this happening with Casemiro when it's introduced, I imagine. I mean, really, he'll be sent off by that point, I imagine, but still. Also news, not really relevant or anything like that, but Phil Foden scored a hat-trick, which led Bart to ask Gareth, are you watching Foden scoring a hat-trick? To which Gareth said, yeah, it's really something. He was watching Jordan Henderson. Because, of course, he was.
Can't wait for him to go.
Yeah. Wonder if they would bring in, because I think it's quite obvious that managing in the Champions League is more prestigious than managing in the World Cup.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I mean at the elite level, not obviously. One from Nigeria can manage Nigeria. That is massively prestigious. Do not get me wrong. But England, the England job is a poison chalice.
Stands out to me that's FA ready. And the only one that stands out to me that's FA ready is Eddie Howe.
That it could be a good escape route from him if it's not going well with Newcastle, right? Which I'm hearing rumblings that, it's not going well for him. I think it's going all right. I think they maybe overreached last year and injuries are putting them at a bit of a, more their level at the moment. So I really think they'll be fine, but still. They're given.
Look how spoiled they are. Look how spoiled their fans are, and quite a majority of them wanting him out. You had Steve Bruce, and look how miserable you were. Chelsea fever all over again. You haven't even won anything yet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Without Eddie Howe, Ben, without the money to buy the defence that they so desperately needed, they'd be in the Championship.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
So just count your blessings.
Pinkhouse next. Good evening. Adelaide for Ivory Coast winning AFCON. Bookies must have hated that. It's hard to say because they weren't doing really well, were they? And then they were, but still. Ghost, yeah. Gradle, I think he got took off. He got took off near the end. I think he was all right. Didn't watch it. Kept an eye. Hope you're well. Yeah. So, at least FFP is actually handcuffing Newcastle somewhat. Wait until they find what would you call it? Like the Newcastle's new official hand towel partner, which is going to give them 700 million over 5 years.
Is it not pathetic that it's took the Saudis to buy a club for it to clamp down because they're all fearful of it? Should have been done at Chelsea when Abramovich bought the club, and it should have been done properly.
He should not have been able to buy that club in 2003. No. It killed football. It killed football as we know it. It changed it from a sport into a billionaire's play toy. Yeah. Rich people play things. And I know people are going to say, Jack Walker did one thing in 93. Sorry, go on, Ben.
It enabled the Premier League to wrestle control off La Liga.
It did, because the Premier League had the foresight to realise that if you have 20 clubs that appear strong, it's actually more enjoyable to watch than just having the same two teams dominate the other 18. I don't think the Premier League is actually
as competitive as they like people to believe.
Exactly right.
But Leicester saved them.
Yeah.
With that,
they've created the perception that bottom can beat top, because there are times where it has happened, and there probably are times it's happening in La Liga, but you don't recall it as such. Anyway, I think Barcelona were losing to Granada today.
I recall it.
I recall
Somerville last season at Anfield. Dallas at Man City.
Oh, like the game where Jesse Marsh basically he won the game himself, didn't he, by his changes or whatever. So he'll tell you. I believe that's a 2010 reference, Mr. Hayes. Because I was
Did
just
you
telling
watch that
people earlier.
masterclass? I didn't watch that. I couldn't enjoy
I've
any
seen
more of
bits
his
of it.
voice.
I've seen bits of it. It's Just got opera going on in the background. Ben, your opera.
No. What are you watching? Baby Boom or something. They can hear your opera. It's all right.
We'll see. We'll see if what the copyright gods bring to me tomorrow morning. But it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, I had to laugh at the Bubbles fans buggering off at half time. That was hilarious. I got used to the noise. It's weird now that it went.
They got used to the noise. You can put it back on if you want. I didn't ask you to turn it off. You're off. She's off.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Ghost, they got slapped silly. Leicester gave them an excuse to bring VAR and protect their assets, in my humble opinion. Yeah, that's a fair point, actually, because the big side really hated that Leicester won it. It was great for the league as a product because it gave the pretense of competition, but the actual teams themselves hated that them being in it meant that they're not in it.
Yeah.
The top four, I mean. It meant that instead of two of 6 missing out, 3 of 6 missed out that year.
Yeah.
Which they did not like. Where are you? That it's daylight outside, Ben.
It's not daylight outside, mate. It's pitch black.
No, it's above you. It's the it must be light reflecting.
Oh, that's the kitchen light. That behind me. Yeah, it's kitchen light. That's outside. Yeah.
Russ apologises if you're on the sofa tonight.
No, I'm good, mate. I'm good.
No problem. No problem. So, Russ, you'll love this. It's time for the Sunday roast. Actually, I had one more before that, so we'll wind it a bit. Talking of celebrations,
it's not time for the Sunday roast.
It's not. Just for 8 seconds, it's not. Can't players even celebrate beating their rivals anymore? Come on, get up. You've been warned. He's got some people to spit on that Carragher. So now it's time for the Sunday roast, where West Ham Central said to all my Arsenal fans, I'm sorry in advance. Yeah. To which Gooner Nick wrote, apology accepted.
That was embarrassing today, wasn't it?
Oh. It was so weird just seeing people stream out of that stadium. Just it's like tough time, lad. You literally won a European trophy last year. Where are you going? But anyway, shame about the helicopter accident. Oh my god, it was a shame, all truth. But yeah, wow. So I should go to Specsavers. It's probably there'll probably be spicier stuff. Chelsea in the cups. Underneath, Chelsea in the league. I hope they become that Chelsea in the league in the cup. Be quite helpful, that. But anyway.
They'll have fallen off a cliff, haven't they?
Hopefully, yeah. I read, I don't know how true it is, but it sounds true. You know, like when you read an article and you know it could well be bollocks, but it's well written enough that it could actually be accurate. Where basically the worst thing that can happen to Chelsea is they win the EFL Cup in that they qualify for the Conference League. Because the Conference League, if you're in the Conference League, you are then beholden to UEFA's financial fair play limits. And essentially the prize money for winning the Conference League is £15 million, let's say, for argument's sake. But they already spend 390 million a year on players. And their profit and loss thing is something like 400 million. Basically, it works out that Chelsea would have a transfer budget of £10 million. Unless they sold players.
It's not like they haven't got players to sell, is it?
Part of the reason they were able to buy the players that they've bought in the last year was because they're not in Europe. So they weren't beholden to those rules. it's once you then qualify for Europe that you then the limits stick in. But obviously, that you get more money for being in the Champions League group stage than you do for winning the Conference League. Hence why it's never a problem for those teams. But it will be if they're in it. But anyway, so hopefully they can topple Liverpool in that match. Anyway, someone on Twitter said KDB when he faces Sosboslai, is that how it's pronounced? Anyway, enjoy your retirement, old man. In the time that was written, he got the treble, injured, had surgery, learned how to dance, wrote a song with Drake, came back, and still has more Premier League assists than Dominic Szoboszlai. So he's a good footballer, is KDB, basically, isn't he? I mean, and that other guy's not doing
majestic.
as well. He is. He's very good at kicking the football.
Great assist yesterday.
He just gets out of bed and adds an assist to his name. See, Sheffield United won at Luton yesterday, which there's never been a Premier League team as bad as us. But then they got saved by the 2007-2008 Derby team. Don't be so sure. Bless them. Terrible. Obviously, it's not Kane's fault, but his first year at Bayern, being Bayern's first trophy this season since 1487, would be simply one of the funniest things to happen in sports history.
Well, that's it. You're Spurs, aren't you? You're not winning shit.
Yeah. Oh, then the next three, including that one, are just titled as Spursy 1, Spursy 2, and Spursy 3. So Spursy 2 was you can take Son out of Tottenham, but you can't take the Tottenham out of Son. They lost 2-0 to Jordan in the semi-final. Katie Price beat them. Anyway, and I bet it doesn't have a cup holder. That Harding helicopter crash. Yes, Jimmy, it was. I got it.
Yeah, do you know, Jimmy? I thought it, but I can always rely on you.
Oh no, actually, tell a lie.
It was referring to the.
I thought he was referring to the Leicester one. Yeah, I was thinking.
It was, but I
That's
also
brilliant.
thought of the Harding one at the same time because we're Leeds fans, and that's why.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh wow. That was very good, Glenn. Multi-layered. No, Glenn, don't admit you were thinking of Leicester. Say you meant both, or like either, or however you want to swing it.
Oh, you just left it open.
Yeah. That was it. It was like we all thought different things. Is it still 2 million for winning the FA Cup? I was hoping we'd get more than that. Really, it might have gone up to 2 point. I don't know. We never get near it, so I've never really looked at the prize money aspect of it. But anyway, I think you get Europa League if you win the FA Cup, so that'd be all right. Forget about that. Bring another terrible accent. You just can't get the staff.
You get more money than Chelsea.
Yeah. Footballers and but we also don't pay 8-year contracts to 390 million a year. So, I think we could stomach it a little bit. I was thinking of the list. Yeah, it proves Southampton can be got. That's how I saw it. Is that if they can put 3 past them, then we can take them to the sword at Ellen Road. Hopefully, we just need to be in the contest by then, because of obviously it being the final day. Beach Hill Scum, then Maidstone, almost at Wembley. Well, we can dream. And did you know? Did you happen to catch on the internet, on the Twitter machine, the Leeds United player of the goal of the month competition for January?
Bamford.
I made the right pick. I thought, should I go for the 4th one? No, I'll go for the top one. I feel I'll go for the top one. But yeah, well deserved. Anyway, waffling on. Got the small matter of an FA Cup replay, which none of us wanted, but it was on TV and it was quite enjoyable. Ended up being anyway. For the sake of my brother, Mr. Ben,
it was nice not to listen to Andy Hinchcliffe commentating on this for once.
It was. Although we did then get trading in for Jonathan Pearce.
I get why people don't like Jonathan Pearce, but and he waffles on, but at least he keeps it football.
He's not biased. I'll give him that.
No. And he doesn't slate players for no reason, and he's just not negative. Andy Hinchcliffe's just so negative.
I can believe Jonathan Pearce likes football and he's there because he's living his dream of talking about something he never got to play. Whereas Andy Hinchcliffe is the actual opposite. It's like because he can't play it anymore, but used to, he likes to coach players while he's commentating.
Yeah, players.
I don't know if that makes sense.
So much better than he ever was.
Exactly. Peterborough goal. Yeah. It was all the same goal, though, to be fair, Jimmy. I think that was Joey they were trying to get across. Was nice to get some value from Teletax for a change. Commentator was... I'm going to say Sam was at all. Bobby Thomas' goal was still best goal in Leeds game this year. Oh, Colonel Wardew sausage. I can bring up Coventry again. He had a field day with that. He loved that. Bless him. I've had a Chelsea fan shivering like a shining dog. We'll give you 6,000 tickets like everyone else, but you'll outsing us. It could be a bit better midweek, though. Interesting. Welcome, Colonel, of course. And as I was going to say, for my brother, he requested this back 4 months ago. So I've tried to stick to it. When Leeds are on tour, we get to see the opposition stadium. And basically, I've realised now I can keep this here for next week.
Yeah.
I've got a hunt for it, yeah.
No, I want a different one. I don't want laziness.
All right. But I'll probably forget and I'll pick this. So you'll probably get it again, me thinking it's brand new. I'm such a twat. Anyway, so that's home park from above, and this is the view from inside. I should have shot for authenticity. I should have got it while it was raining.
I'm at night.
I'm surprised. Yeah, you're
right. I want a
surprised.
night shot next time.
I'm surprised that the game went ahead because it was like, at what point was it like? At what point was it going to get dangerous? I mean, it didn't, evidently, because they completed the match. But I'm surprised that they didn't do that because footballers are fannies.
Yeah.
But anyway. Nice place is Plymouth. When the Navy are out on sea. And so, anyway. So Plymouth's starting lineup. Obviously, Forshaw can't play because he's cup tied. And Darko Giabi can't play because he is on loan from Leeds United. And to be fair, they probably might have done better or worse with him. I'm unsure. I just can't believe we paid $5 million for him. In hindsight. Mental. These are the heroes for Leeds United. Do you think that was the lineup? He should he have gone stronger initially?
No.
If he was right to.
No, I think he was right. It's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pick.
If he'd have gone, if he'd have gone with the big, it's one of them things though. I think you have to play Cooper in this sort of match because if you don't, it's like why didn't you get rid of him in January? I mean, we all know.
I always feel that the option. I feel the option was there for him to leave in January. He just didn't want to leave.
Well, yeah, because he hits 10 years, doesn't he? If he makes it to the end of the season.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't blame him. Look, if he wants to stay, then he's welcome to stay. But I just feel that I get Farker sees it day in, day out, but Cresswell's a better defender at this point in their careers. So the fact that he's that far down the pecking order.
Hopefully he'll be coaching him.
Yeah.
Like what not to do, essentially. Yeah. So this is how they lined up.
Don't let your dad tweet for you.
So many
Don't go
footballers
down
can
well.
do with that these days. Yeah. Don't go on a podcast, talk about your goalkeeping, son, or whatever. That's an Arsenal reference. This is how we lined up with our formation, and yeah, I'm surprised that Nonto's still not got a Google picture, but blame the breaks. What did you rate of Joseph's night out in Plymouth?
Impressed me. Unlucky not to score. But overall, he impressed. Got an assist. So
I thought it was very lively, to be fair to him.
yeah.
I know another podcast, let's say for argument's sake, it was the Square Ball, I think, said this, and they were 100% right. A lot of youth players will get put into the first team with other first teamers, and they basically get lost in the shuffle, in the fold. Like, they don't pass to them because they don't know them as well. And, you know, because you have the trust that you've built with the other forwards and things like that. But no, you could have, if you'd have told me he plays every week, I would have believed it.
Yeah.
Based on that night. But I could be wrong. Coops a start. He should have. I'll be surprised if he hasn't. But I don't know. That's fact. So yeah. So we kick off. He looks like that's his wanker of the week photo for the future. Dunno.
What when he scores against us?
Yeah, like that's the photo I'll be looking for. I'll be like, where's the time it looked like he was actually tossing himself off while warming up? Anyway, yeah. So they don't even have a photo for their thing, right? Which is quite sad, really, isn't it? Like, come on, lads.
Come on, Argyle, do this. Do this.
Yeah.
Do this.
Come on, lads. Keep the streak going. What is the streak?
Two games. That was the streak.
2 games. Okay.
They won the last 2 games.
That's better than I thought.
I suppose, yeah. Well, it can't be any worse as it's not a streak.
That's never stopped people before. Brilliant.
Yeah, we're on a win streak, yeah.
I picked a lot of these out more because of the responses. It's like, I remember we got the chance, okay? And obviously, this is basically Joseph's shot that hits the bar. But the keeper clearly saves it onto the bar. So, but then they gave a goal kick. So, even Plymouth acknowledged it should be a corner. And the Leeds Twitter, of course, is like, great save. Pushes it out for a goal kick. Mental. We hit the bar again. Pirro hits the bar. To which we then got, come on, Argyle. Awful start to the match. There's another drubbing incoming. There's a reason we're 4-1. It's almost like he's telling the future. 4-1. Yeah. So obviously we then go, yeah, it's the bar. Fine. Nothing. Other than that, nothing happens in that first half. It's actually quite turgid. I actually felt sorry for all the people that knew they'd give their Wednesday up or whatever that it was, Tuesday, wasn't it? Give their Tuesday up. They could have been watching EastEnders, but instead it was Plymouth. Leeds. But you feel that sorry for him. Do you think all the recent departures given Joffrey a kick up the arse? He looked on it when he came on for the first time in a long time. I think he had to. Keeping name Hazard.
I feel for Joffrey a bit. I do. He got lost in the management sagas as Joffrey, and there's a good player in there. He just needs a run of games and a bit of confidence, do you know? So I don't know who said it, but it might have been you who said it. Not everybody's Solskjaer coming off the bench, do you know? That
actually is something I would have said, because I've always said people overestimate the impact of a sub, in that subs actually score less than people think they do, and it creates a disproportionate level of disappointment when they don't. because you remember the times where it does happen. So then when it doesn't happen, you sit there and feel like, oh, why ain't Tyler Roberts scored? It's like, because they've not got the feel of the game. And usually something has to fall to a sub on a plate, or they make something magic happen.
You've got to think, right, when a sub comes on, let's say a team isn't performing,
yeah,
and the sub comes on to change things, it's very rare that one player does change things, because at the end of the day, the rest of them still aren't performing. So you need some level of assistance from the rest of you, do you know?
Yes.
Or when he does, in the case where he does change it, the rest of the team get a buzz off his effort, and it changes the team's effort.
Couldn't have said that better myself. Like, you make changes for the reason, and usually that reason is you're not doing that well, and you need someone to add that bit of spark. But then you're expecting those other 10 players that are not doing well to then contribute to that. It's very unlikely. We all hope it's the case, because it does happen, otherwise people wouldn't do it. But still, you're setting yourself up for disappointment if you're really, truly like hanging your hat on someone doing it. Anyway, so obviously half-time goal, like rubbish game in all truth.
It was a bit of a drab first half, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah. We're on top, but it was not good. Like neutrally speaking, it was not entertaining. And we had two great chances where we hit the bar, but generally 0-0 was what the game deserved in the context of, you get what I mean? Anyway, that being said, Camera then slots the ball through to Nonto, who basically nuts, or he begs the keeper, however you want to call it. Bottom corner. Goal, 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 goal. And Spencer Bronco sent me this. Willie's on fire. Yeah. I thought it was quite funny. My first game was 88. I'm a latecomer. 84. My first is 95.
Mine was 89.
Oh, 94, sorry.
89.
Yeah. You've all got seniority on me, I'll say that.
But you were only 5 years behind me.
Yeah.
The first game I saw was on telly. It was it was actually highlights of Leeds Wigan quarter final.
Yeah.
I think we won 2-1. I'll tell you who scored. 1 minute, I've forgotten his name. Nobby Stiles, his dad, John Stiles scored, and Mickey Adams, I believe. And then the next game I watched was the semi-final when Coventry beat us. It was a good game. And then 2 years later, I got a season ticket, and we went up that year with Wilco. So it started out well for me, because within 3 years of me watching Leeds, we'd been promoted and won a league.
I actually think it set you up for even further disappointment in the context that...
Oh, definitely, yeah.
That you got... your early years of supporting Leeds was Leeds winning football matches a lot, or more often than not.
But on the other hand, I feel privileged that I've seen my team lift the title.
Yeah. Well, I'm alive for it, but I never saw it. I didn't like football. I didn't like... I weren't old enough to really comprehend sport in that way, I think, when I was like 6. Like, I didn't think I'd got into wrestling at that point. But I'd have been more concerned with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Ghostbusters, quite frankly. But I think what made the Bielsa title win for the championship more special, it's the first thing I'd ever seen Leeds win. Because you've got to keep in mind, I lived the promotion from League One, but we didn't win League One.
And the first disappointment you'll have suffered then will have been the Villa 3-0.
Yes.
At Wembley, yeah. That was awful. And Ron Atkinson with his biased commentary. Remember that day?
Oh, of course it was. He'd only won it with them.
I actually muted the telly that day and put Radio Leeds on, or Radio Air, I think it was at the time.
I left the house at 2-0. I left the house and just like, I'm going to go and kick a ball
It was
outside.
was it Andy Gray? He was the only player that turned up that day on
Wouldn't
the wing.
surprise
Young
me.
lad Andy Gray.
Through nothing but pain and ridicule. Yep. But anyway, so following on from groundskeeper Willie is on fire. Plymouth, the social media behemoths that they are, basically said goal for Leeds. Willie Nono gets a bit of space 5 low. Naturally, my thing for this is what is being said underneath it. Callum Wright is genuinely useless at this level. We're being bossed around all over the park. Wright has no chance against the Leeds front men. It's a team game, for fuck's sake. There's more than one weak link.
It's exactly the same comment as last week. That where the keeper had kept him in it up until that goal.
Yep. Basically it. But fortunately for Plymouth, and I've not had to bust this out for a while, fortunately, but unfortunately in this situation, free kick. Junior Firpo wanted to get some fitness in, so he decided, I'm going to play him on side. But that's all right. That's all right. It's because he wanted to give his mates a chance to have a run around in the rain. So the ball then gets put across. So
he just wanted to give us 30 more minutes entertainment.
He's a genius, and I'll tell you why he's a genius. It's basically because he was
Go on. Sorry, I'll finish in a minute. No, carry on. Sorry.
No, I was going to say he's a genius because he looked at the people, was like, "Oh, you want to watch? You wanted to watch the EastEnders, did you? Oh, you want to watch Newsnight? Nah, you ain't watching any of that shit. You want to watch Newsnight? You want to watch Newsnight? You ain't watching any of that shit."
I also think he just wanted to hear his song a few more times.
It's an interesting one. It's like, who sat there?
It's a great song.
Who was listening to Salt and Pepper and thought, you know what, we could Firpo to this. They were right to do so, but of course,
they were very right. Every now and again, there is an ingenious song.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're ever watching this to the guy who came up with that, but props to you, man. Props to you. It's long overdue.
Well done, sir.
But I do like you've seen Firpo now. Fuck off home. I do like that one.
Obviously, they're like, "Oh, Brendan levels it." It's like, okay, that's fine. To which we tweet at Brendan Galloway equalised his own side. Because factually what happened. Common, we can do it. Oh, come on, we can do it. Why are modern keepers not grabbing that? How's that got in? Poor defending on the free kick. Come on, Nagesh, you know Firpo better than that. You know he just wanted to give his mate some minutes. And he hates Newsnight, clearly. Allegedly, probably. Anyway.
He wanted to stay in Plymouth that night.
He must love the coast.
Firpo fighting the Navy on the coast.
The Navy ain't going to win, no matter how much they train. So obviously, it definitely went to extra time. Most of you know this because you probably watched it. So basically, we're geared for another 30 minutes. To which Manshit on Twitter says, "Leeds have absolutely dominated the second half. Need to change things for extra time. Come on, you." I'm guessing it's Greens, but it's not Gunners. I mean, they're not even playing. Fair play to the lads, no matter what happens. And then, boom, Somerville's on. Ball played to him by Rooter, I believe. And then, top corner. Pick that one out, lad. Goal. Beautiful. And Plymouth's response, Somerville down left, cuts inside, curls in. Again, factually what happened. But to which Callum, not happy with this, goes, make a hat-trick, some mistakes, lads. Go on. Pathetic. Be careful what you wish for, because Somerville passes the ball over to Rotherham, who does his best to not score because he scuffs the fuck out of this shot. Off the post and in. To which that guy on Twitter's probably thinking, I wish I hadn't said that. Goal, 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 goal. The greatest man ever. To which Leeds United Texas says, can we play you every week? I thought the same about Ipswich, if I'm being honest. But anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, and Josh Hope says, good game, like he's Bruce Forsyth. That's not the end of it. Corner swung in by Gruev.
Did you hear the commentary on this? They actually thought Gruev had scored direct from the corner.
I thought Gruev had scored it from the way it swings in. No, I know he hasn't. Like, on the replay, you can clearly see he's up for the header and it hits him on the head and goes in. But in the actual motion of it, where, like, you know where, like, the game's done, so you're sort of checked out a bit, because, like, it's very unlikely that this is going to penalties in with 3 minutes to go. So I'm just like, and then you just see the ball, like, just swing over and in. It's like, wait, what? Scored again. But anyway. So, yeah, it's him. Goes in. Leeds thought he scored. To be fair.
It was their commentary.
That's true. But anyway. Again, Bruce Forsyth out in false here in the comments section. Feel bad for you lot. Good game. So, anyway. So, we're going. Oh, hang on. I always love meeting people who can remember their first games. I'll tell you my first game. It's not a long story at all. Basically, my first actual football match was with the school. We went to England-Norway at Wembley in 1994. It was 0-0 draw. It was absolute crap. If anything, I'm surprised I even watched football after being subjected to that. But my first actual game was West Ham versus Leeds in the opening game of the 94-95 season. Again, it was 0-0. So I'm sat there wondering, so I'm not allowed to see goals in football matches. So I'm not sure if this sport is for me.
You have got 0-0 writ all over you, haven't you, kid?
Yep. Because then, what was the score when we went to?
He proceeded to tell me this, right, when we sat down, right, because he got off the train, and then he was a bit quiet for about an hour. Was Tom? He was like taking it all in, and then I sat down with him, and he proceeded to tell me, "Oh yeah, I've never seen Leeds score at Ello Road. 0-0. And I sort of, now you tell me this, and what happened? What was the score, Tom?
It wasn't 1-0 to either team. I'd never.
And it was the shittest game ever, right? It really was shit. And the Leeds atmosphere, because of the game, we had Lolo, didn't we, and Mark and Gary over from America, and all they wanted to see was an Ellen Road atmosphere, and there just wasn't one, was there? It was just awful.
It was pants. But yeah, so basically, I don't see goals in live football matches. I did the next year when opening game again was West Ham versus Leeds. Obviously, being local, we got tickets for it, and that's when I saw Yeboah bust in the net twice. So I've seen Big Tony score. To be fair, so
that's the only person you've seen score.
It's fair. It's absolutely fair.
Not a bad person to see score.
There are worse. Can you imagine? There's a human out there. There is a human out there who will turn around and go, the only footballer I've ever seen score a live match is Adam Johnson. So
possibly, yeah.
Possibly.
Or Clyde Mendonca. What was that one there?
Play West Ham every week. I'll call down. I think we might have a chance. We do have a chance.
My sister was an Army MP too. She was a Royal Military Police.
Boring Villa. Hi, David. How you doing, sir? So it was my fault. Yeah, it was. It's literally my fault. I apologise to all the Leeds fans. That might have actually saved us, in all truth, in hindsight. The same. I wonder if the Stoop lad's coming over to Southampton. That'd be wild if that was the case. But anyway, so they do their handshakes. That's Ian Foster. I had to look up who their manager was. He had
Click
quite
on
the effect.
EastEnders or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, basically, that might be the real reason we played it on the Tuesday nights, because Phil Mitchell needed to. They needed to have their Phil Mitchell on TV fix anyway. So, yeah. So obviously we won. We won, and as Mr. Ben sent to me earlier in the week, the opposition for the 5th round. Excuse me a
The one
second.
killing lions. It's an old lion hunting rifle, so I do believe it was when it was legal.
I'm sure it's absolutely fine.
And the lion does have a weapon, so it's technically self-defense.
It sure is. It sure is. So I did find it quite funny. Fancy meeting up in these on last day, whether we have tickets or not. Wow, you've come a long way, Jimmy.
I think that. Do you know what I do believe, Jimmy? Right, is if it is a crucial game where either one of us can go up, I think they will show it in the Leeds City Centre on the screen.
Imagine hearing Bournemouth's name when your first memory of them is Cole Sharp scoring a hat-trick against them on his debut. They took Stinney, really? Yeah. They're never been too high on Bournemouth since that. It would be quite the afternoon.
I really would like to know what that stands for.
We're going to try to say it.
I do believe Jimmy will be there all night typing it as well, if it does stand for something.
So anyway, just for the sake
of
posterity,
get your father's gun and shoot the Chelsea scum. Shoot the Chelsea scum.
Oh, for sure. So for posterity, we well dominated this game. Thank you to the director John for providing this. So yeah, basically more possession, passes, accurate passes. The only thing we didn't win was they got more yellow cards. So there you go. But we do need to start being more clinical in terms of like putting the ball on the target, I think. Because that will lead to doom eventually. Like you can't miss 19 shots on target when you're in the Premier League.
Technically, no, but 19 shots off target, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
4 out of your 6 is clinical enough. You see, it's always misleading when it's shots, because some shots aren't shots, are they? And they get classed as shots, and some are just ridiculous, and some don't even get highlights.
Yeah. No, so I think this counts block shots, to be fair.
Yeah. So technically, 4 out of your 6 on target. That's clinical enough.
Yeah.
But that also says that 3 shots on target in 90 minutes against Plymouth isn't great.
Nah, it's not. It's really not. I'm not saying it to be defeatist. I just mean in the context that it's something to be looked at, isn't it? Like to point out.
No, it's something where we can improve, and
yes,
we need to keep improving if we want to stand any chance of going up. We can't fall back anymore.
Nah.
It's as simple as that. I can't see. You see, we lose a game now, then it becomes a 3-game swing for me with Southampton, and because of the game in hand, they are dropping 3 games.
Does anyone happen to know who their game in hand is against? I don't personally know it, but someone might happen to know.
I can tell you now. 1 second. 1 second. I'll tell you now. Because it does in this, it does it in the match week. So it'll go back to the match week.
Fair enough. Either way, though, could set up for. I'm going to set up for Rotherham, so we can go through that.
So it's round 29. It's against Hull at home.
That's true. They're against Hull. Hull are very inconsistent. Their
Hull have
front
got
three are really good.
Two game winners, though. Yeah, well, that's it. They're not the same team they were before January. So, look,
the front three are really good.
Chance.
But that's it. That's enough in the Championship, though. As we found out when we went to Southampton. It felt like, it's probably not true, but it felt like they had 3 shots on us and they scored them.
I just think the mistake in that game was dropping Rodon.
Oh, of course it was. In hindsight, it was like punishing him for getting the silly red card.
I remember at the time why, that was basically, it was punishment, but it backfired.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, they lost that game. He got sacked. Simple. And then
true.
You've got a total different. You've got a total different picture then of starting again, and it can go one way or another. Do you know?
Yeah. Well, we eventually.
That's in hindsight. It is what it is, and we've closed the gap on all of them.
Yeah. Considering how bad Christmas went with the 2 defeats. I'm very, very happy to be sat where we are currently. So, despite how it may sound that we're being doom about it, I'm definitely not. Yes, sir.
So let's say we don't make top 2. Are you confident we win?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not one of these that looks at Leeds don't do playoffs. I'm not one of these, right? Leeds haven't done playoffs. It's not a case of we don't do playoffs. It's a total different team, total different era. Yeah. Just because we haven't won in the playoffs doesn't mean we can't win in the playoffs. All runs and all statistics end.
Well, we've been in.
We didn't win in London, but then we won in London.
Years.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. We talk about it as if like it's this big hoodoo, because factually we've never won one. But there are teams out there, like, I'm not digging them out. There are teams like Ipswich who have been in the playoffs probably 15 times. And I don't know, I think they've won it once or something like that. But, like, you know, I remember specifically there was a time in the mid-2000s.
Burnley were really bad until they won it once. So, yes, Southampton, another side that don't do playoffs.
The reality is there should be no team that we should be afraid of playing in a 2-legged match in the playoffs.
And if it works out let's say as it is now, the top 4, then we avoid Ipswich until possibly Wembley there. And I'm quite confident we can dispatch of anybody else from Ipswich below, do you know? So I don't fear the playoff. I think it's made for us to win.
The one thing we will have going for us in this situation is the context of it is most teams that finish 3rd don't get promoted because they usually carry the disappointment. They carry the lack of cohesiveness that you get from, like, for example, Bielsa put out a second string team when we lost to Ipswich before the Derby playoff series. Because we was already in it. So he started going, we'll tinker with the team a bit. But Farker's going to be in a situation probably where we need to win every game. So you will build up a momentum of winning football matches still. Even if it turns out we still finish 3rd, the fact is we'll still be trying to win football matches. So the mentality will be there. As opposed to changing the team because you're resting players. Because I'd be very surprised if we have to rest players, because that means we would have failed at finishing 2nd earlier than the Southampton game. So
exactly.
We'll see how it pans out.
But I think if we do go playoffs and we get to Wembley, I will go, because I went to Cardiff and it was awful. Then I went to Wembley for Doncaster and that was awful. And I do believe in 3rd time lucky.
Well, I hope you're right. Anyway, so we did play Rotherham over on Saturday. I say Saturday, it's yesterday. Played Rotherham yesterday. more of a full strength lineup, I'd argue. Especially any lineup with Firpo in it is obviously full strength because he's the son of Senior. Rotherham turned up with they tell you their team twice on their Twitter, so you get it above and below just in case you can't see it. So okay, cool.
Well, I do think we would have won this game with the same team.
They're barely a team at the moment. I'm not saying that to disrespect them. They obviously don't have the confidence, do they? Yeah.
They just couldn't keep the ball, could they?
Yeah. I could be wrong, Ben.
I do feel if that was Leicester or Southampton playing them, it would have been a cricket score.
You can't be 1-0 down. Sorry, spoiler. We go 1-0 up. Most of you know this anyway. You can't go 1-0 down at a team when you're 12 points adrift to safety and still play the low block with time wasting tactics. What the hell is that? I'm not saying they should open up and let us win. My point is more that they should actually try to fucking beat us. Because
you need to try and score a goal.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you go back to your low block.
Yeah.
Or you concede 2 more and then fair enough, it's about damage limitation. But they didn't start having a go until 10 minutes left. You should have done that at 1-0 down.
Yeah. Hello, Ty.
But I do feel that the reason they were allowed to have a go is because of certain changes we made. But we'll get to that.
Yeah. I'm sure Taib is going on Southampton Fan TV and Ipswich Fan TV and going Southampton will finish second. Ipswich will. No, he's a good guy. He's a good guy, Taib. Known from other shows. Yeah, and Richard Hutchinson says Leeds United have multicultural and diverse fan base. We literally do. Genuinely true. Mate, 90% of fan base is going to win the EPL. That's a lot of things we're going to win. I mean, I hope I'll even take you being half right. To be fair, so
quarter right will do for now.
Yeah. I don't want to be too. I don't want to be too
trophies.
With it, mate. Yeah.
Tottenham would take 1%, 5% of that, is it?
Yeah. I'll take the first one, the end one,
and the last one. I'll take the last one this season.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, you can get the last one, then you can start getting the others.
We can get the last 2 technically.
Yeah.
But I just feel that top spots just, I could be wrong, and I hope I am wrong, but I do feel that top spots just a little bit too far out of reach for both us and Southampton.
What I think is going to turn out really disappointing is I think we're really capable of beating Leicester next week. It's next week and it'll in 2 weeks, whenever it is. We're capable of beating them, and it's not going to matter. We could potentially beat them
in the fact of. I think it'll matter in the fact of how they perform against Southampton as well. If they get beat twice, then that's 6 points, and then you're having a sniff, and then they might have a wobble, you know.
Yeah, but we want them to beat Southampton realistically.
Technically, yeah, I'm not chasing first. It'd be nice. It really would be nice, but it'd be nice to see them finish third. It'd be great. Record start and all that.
Exactly right, brother. Exactly right. Don't be too greedy. We'll take second because the prize is the same.
FA Cup or promotion, John. Right. The last 2 questions.
Yeah.
I will go promotion all day long and 49ers all day long. I've got it on here now.
Yeah, I've got 49ers minus 1.5 points. So they win by 2 points or more. And I'll get the win, baby.
I can't believe Chiefs were underdogs.
Gamble. Safe. When the fun stops. But yeah, so into Leeds versus Rotherham. We're going for an hour. Wow. How do we manage to do it every week? It's partly because the guys asking great questions that get great discussion.
That's it. Yeah. And as the viewers have gone up, the time's gone up. Appreciate you joining us. If you don't like this, guys, please press dislike, because I am not a like beggar. If you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't.
We've won that one. Scum at Wembley in the semi-final.
The algorithm means nothing to us.
Nah. I'd rather have bacon sandwich. Anyway, sorry, that was too specific. Right.
No, you just give me an idea when she comes back in. Bless her. Yeah, then I'll be on the sofa.
Yeah. So obviously this is how we lined up. Again, I would argue this is our closest to our best 11, right? Arguably.
Yeah. What would you say, right? From that team, then your best 11. What would you tweak?
See, I'm not too sure if I'd put Strauch back in because I think Ampadu at centre back, Groyev and Kamara as a double pivot has yielded nothing but wins.
Do you know what I'd change here? And I'm going on the fact that how he's performed before. I'd take Kamara out for take Kamara out for Gray, and I'll put Roberts in there just because from what I've seen of him, I've never liked him when he's played Leeds. He's that player, but he's ours now for now, so he's going to be that player for us. But he's a safe bet for me, and I'm not saying Archie Gray isn't, but I just feel we'll be a little bit more progressive with Gray over Kamara. As we found out yesterday, you don't do Gray over Gruev because Gray over Gruev didn't work yesterday, and that's why they got them 2 late goals. It was evident. But Gray over Kamara, I feel, is a better change.
That's fair. That is fair. I mean, I guess I'm more based in that.
Either or. Yeah, either or.
I guess I'm more based off of not having really seen Connor Roberts playing in the league shirt to know whether he fits or. Basically, I base that more on what we have played roughly this far. But no, you're probably right. You probably are right. I mean,
but I stick with Bamford. I do. I stick with Bamford all day long.
It's on now, apparently. But don't worry. We're not going to be here for too much longer.
You can have like 10 seconds, 3 seconds. It's just going to kick off show. So we're about.
There you go.
We're about 15 minutes out.
You're right on the first one, Richard. But yeah, so that's how they lined up. Although really, that turned into more of a, Cafu and Lindsay were more level below them where they're on there. I'd argue.
I'd like to know how many times Lee Peltier has played against us.
It feels like he must get signed in every window because it feels like we've played him 5 times this season. I know we haven't, but it feels like we have.
Was he not at Forest last year though? Did he not play against us last year at Forest though? Positive he did.
He might have. Do you know what it partly is? It's because every week we do the question of what is this lineup like? 2 players that have played for this club and Leeds. He's in it. It's him. He's in it. It feels like every week there is something that means that Lee Peltier ends up on this show. So hopefully,
stamped on Rodon yesterday.
Hopefully, we'll never see him again. And I don't mean he's dead or anything. I just mean in football terms, obviously. I'm sure he's a nice man, really, even though he did stamp on Rodon, which is
look, he played for us. He wasn't the greatest, was he? But
yes,
he's part of our history, so I don't wish him any illness. It's just Lee Peltier, isn't it?
I'm in the basement. Anyway.
Oh, there's a big history, Richard. A big history. Go watch the early Stoop episodes.
Right. So we kick off. Nice that they show our corner.
Have we not kicked off yet?
No, we've not. No, we've been for about 5 minutes talking about Lee Peltier. Anyway, right. Leeds had chances, right? But let's cut the shit. We all know what happens in the first 10 minutes. We all know the real flashpoint of the game. Junior Firpo, the absolute god that he is, puts in a cross which takes deflection, where Patrick Bamford clearly headers the ball.
Can I ask a question here? Am I the only one who saw him celebrate with his elbow?
Yes. No, he did.
Right, they were arguing on the square ball. I've not seen proof of it in his elbow.
That's what I saw. He's basically going.
He celebrated with his elbow.
Yeah, no, he did.
And then he discusses it with Nonto.
Yeah. Apparently, like, he was in conversation with one of the officials after the game, like joking about it, because their manager's furious because of that. He thinks like he's indirectly admitting cheat. I'll have to let the bed lads question next week. No problem. Appreciate that, Russ. Take care. Wonder if the Leeds players have been invited to the Super Bowl. Oh, it's interesting.
I doubt it is.
They have a job to do on Tuesday.
They've got enough travel.
Maybe if it was the Premier League winter break, they would have. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so obviously Bamford scores.
I wonder if they win it, do you think it'll get paraded around Ellen Road at some point?
It's hard to say.
Or do you think they're going to keep them separate? Do you think they're going to keep...
I think it'll be separate. Because obviously the video they put out is cringy, but it's like, it's meant to be like a fun thing, isn't it? Like the obvious bias and things like that. But I think partly it won't be paraded because of the anti-American sentiment around the regime of past with the players and stuff like that. I don't think a lot of the hardcore element would take too well to it. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. Now. But yeah, Knight Russ clearly hit the top.
49ers are kicking to the Chiefs.
Kick off. Okay, cool. So, yeah, obviously we've established...
Chiefs kicking to Niners.
Okay. So it goes, goal for Leeds, Bamford. So the immediate first tweet is of someone playing handball in a GIF and a Leeds fan laughing at him. Or Sheffield Wednesday fans laughing at him. The comments were awful season. Not only are we dreadful and have house more injured than a hospital ward, but teams are just allowed to play no rules football against us. Wish we could just skip forward to July. To be expected for a side that's down, we are really negative. Liam Richardson's got to go. He's Taylor Mark II. Handball all the way. That was it. I actually wish we'd just go bust at this point. Jesus Christ. But I did find an alternative angle of the goal. Just because I wanted to make sure definitively, was it handball? just to make sure. It might have been. Also, just because of punching, it made me think of this week's wrestling, where a guy literally leaned out of the apron and then punched someone with a boxing glove on stick. Bamford should have done that, and it would have been even funnier. But anyway, boxing glove on a stick, everyone. It clearly hit him top part of the arm that is no longer regarded as handball. I'll be honest, David, I don't care. We scored and we got away with it. And even if it is part of the rules and it's fine. It's just funny. Because how many times does shit like that happen where we have to stomach it? How many Stonewall penalties have we not had this season? And then add Andy Hinchcliffe tell us why it's not, or Don Goodman tossing himself off silly because we didn't get it, and he knows we should have, but then, or you know what I mean, fuck them, or I hate commentators. But anyway, apparently Ipswich fans don't like.
What is the need? Is there any need for a commentator? As long as the football atmosphere in the ground's all right, I feel you don't need them.
In all seriousness, we all know deep down that if that is handball, then it shouldn't be a goal and all that. But the reality is, we were so dominant yesterday that I don't think it actually affected the result one iota.
It's clutching at straws, really, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. 2 chances that we should have had. I was going to do the photos of this, but it's clearly outside the box. So it's a foul. It's a foul. At best, it's a corner to Leeds. At best, it's a free kick. At worst, it should be a corner. Definitely shouldn't have been a goal kick. which it ended up being, but it was outside the box. So
yeah, I feel the ref was reffing a different game yesterday anyway, for both teams at points.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously half time was 1-0. Pat with his arms out, it feels like it's a bit I don't know, probably reading too much into it, because what's he meant to do with his arms? Like keep him by his side. Anyway, so we go second half, 52nd minute, basically Sensio Somerville sends the ball to Ruter, who gives it back to Somerville, who marches through on goal, bang, goal. 2-0. Rotherham Twitter can't be asked now. I say it's terrible football, but watching it, I'm not even convinced this is classed as football. Somerville found himself fouled. Some may say it was soft. I don't care. There are rules against pulling down Somerville in the box. So,
Fumble
anyway.
49ers.
I'd say.
Chiefs have it in their own 30, I think.
What is it? Another 3.5 hours to go. Anyway,
so
penalty to Leeds. You got Clark, I think I'm done watching Liam Richardson's Rotherham United. Embarrassing. The thing is, though, I can feel what they feel, because we've been even worse than that, like mediocre. And because the worst thing for them is next season, they'll be amazing.
Yeah, they're back where they belong. That's their level, I think.
Yeah, they'll come straight back up next season, and the cycle will repeat, because they are a yo-yo club. David's been notified. To be fair, David, for all I could have known, you might have actually been right, because, I mean, to me it was a blatant handball, but you could well have been right that there was a rule or something that I don't know. Not perfect, but anyway, the important thing is it was just funny, wasn't it, that someone else was upset because of something we did.
Technically, though, if it is chest first and then onto his arm, it's not handball.
If it just goes straight from the deflection to his fist, though, doesn't it? Or his elbow, rather. I don't care at all. We should be better than them. Bielsa would have screwed. I think we lost to them under Bielsa. I'm sure we did. I could be wrong. No, actually, that's not true. I should have known that because of the question. Sorry. That's a spoiler. Anyway, how many handball goals Leeds have swallowed over the years? It's nice to get one. And that was my logic.
Valencia.
There you go. That was a killer. Anyway, so he's fouled. Penalty to Leeds. Obviously, he waits. Delicious Panenka. And we all know the real reason he did that was not to be flash. It was because the last time he had one, he hit the post. What's the best way to avoid it in the post? Put it down the middle. Problem is, next time he tries that, goalkeeper's just going to stand there and catch it.
So he can go bottom corner again.
Yeah. The problem is he goes bottom corner too well, doesn't he?
I've always been a put your laces through it penalty guy. But you don't get away with Panenkas in Sunday League football because the keepers don't dive.
And you won't last 2 minutes to it. You won't last 2 minutes after it, because if you try that, someone's going to chop you, like their chopper Harris or their bites your legs is going to.
I don't even think it's so much as their bites your legs. It's just their slow fat twat at the back. It's just going to swipe you.
He's going to fucking eat your leg. Anyway, yeah, he won't bite your leg. He'll swallow it. Anyway, so obviously we won 3-0. Anyway, this is beyond garbage. Sorry, the manager carries a significant portion of blame. Negative. It's like, I have this perverse. I think it's quite apparent. When we beat teams, I like seeing their fans cry about it. Whether they're right or wrong, I just like to see it. So, perverse, weird amusement with it. Really, John, I didn't know that. See, I thought there'd be VAR at the Stamford Bridge because they have the VAR. Because then someone said to me yesterday, oh, but then why ain't Leeds having it in their home games because Leeds have got the technology as well. I was like, yeah, but we ain't got it switched on. Like our on button for the VAR's probably gathering dust at this point.
Someone's unplugged it.
Exactly, and you're probably not allowed to put it back in until like probably August. I don't know. Anyway, don't have rules for that. Obviously, I don't appreciate him. I don't get the sleeping thing, but we'll come back to that.
Good night.
Oh yeah, I get that.
That's what I really. It's good night. That's it. Put him to sleep.
Turn out the light. The party's over. Yeah, sure. And then obviously, I'm pretty sure their discussion here revolved around, he punched that ball. And Farker's like, yes. Anyway. So they say it full time. I like the professionalism of their Twitter social media guy to just say Bamford's first half goal. Because we wouldn't say that. R1 would not say that. R1 would say that he fucking elbowed it in.
Yeah.
So I admire their professionalism. I wouldn't be that professional. I'd be like cheating bastards. Anyway, 6 league wins in a row. Amazing. And as the time-honoured tradition on this show and with Leeds United, when we win, who usually has to pop up? His happy little face.
The guy's got ADHD. I know he has. He has.
Yeah, of course he has. Even in that video, when it's like, why is he
like
standing
a Tame
on the bench?
Alioski, isn't he? He is. He's a Tame Alioski.
Yeah. When they open the door to go to him, who's going to win the Super Bowl? He's standing on the bench going, let's go 49ers! Or whatever it is. And it's like insanity. But great. Obviously, this put us in the situation of 18 games unbeaten. The first time we achieved that feat since Don Reeve in 1974. Impressive.
Oh, we won the league.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, obviously the quality of opposition was a lot higher in 1974 due to it being the top division. But you can't help who you're up against. And if they weren't trying to break that record out of respect to the 74 team, I'd be furious. Oh, yeah. Yes, he is. Colin Palmer. Anyway, we go through all this. But yeah, so again, the dominance was clear. Don't get me wrong, as much as we say about the shooting, I'd rather have the 19 shots, 6 on target, 3 goals, than 7 shots, 2 on target, no goals.
Of course. 50% of the shots on target, clinical.
Yeah. Because, of course, sometimes we go on about like the unclinical nature.
Let's face it, it was a good save from Nontos. That was going in.
Yeah. Oh, their keeper was their man and match. Like, it's not even arguably close, is it? Like, to give him his due. But yeah, so and won't keep people much longer. But let's do the. That's not what we do. What am I doing? It's the results, isn't it? So got the results of it. Yeah, no problem. Hello, Brownie. Lost to Preston yesterday. Yeah, we just noticed you were lost 2-0 to Preston. It's disappointing.
Bad result.
How you doing, Brownie? Yeah. Obviously, the game we're more disappointed in is the one at, I was going to call it the Dell. What is it, St Mary's? Obviously, Leicester won that, like the sky was, what colour's the sky? The sky's dark at night. Like, of course they did. But Southampton losing twice created this situation. Call an ambulance, but not for me. But yeah, so yeah, unfortunate. But there will be more games this week. Brownie, your Cardiff go to West Brom on Tuesday night. Oh, there's a Tuesday and Wednesday split, is there? So Southampton play at Bristol City as well. We've always liked Bristol City, personally.
I think Chef Wednesday are going to continue the streak.
Yeah. yeah. I suspect so. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, though, we can only really worry about the Leeds United aspect of the form, but you know, it's not like as much as like Daniel Farker can lie and say that he doesn't look at the table. I mean, he's obviously lying, and I find it amusing that he tries to maintain the lie. So how can you not look at the table? Like, anyway, so yeah. That being said, let's have a look at the table. Obviously, Rotherham did what Rotherham do. Fully expect Sheffield Wednesday to do what Sheffield Wednesday do. And yeah, this is sorry, let me move this thing. So yeah, so we have leapfrogged Ipswich, I believe, or more permanently leapfrogged them, because we have the proverbial 4-point gap based on the goal difference being vastly superior. We also have the goal difference on Southampton, so that's mindful. Also have to be mindful of as well. And obviously, no one has anything on Leicester City at the moment, apart from our win. So, yeah, we got a few tough games coming up. Yesterday's result finished outside home. Things can change in the playoffs, in the Championship, Brownie. You win 4 games in a row, you fly halfway up that table, usually.
Yeah.
And provide a hat trick. Put a nice little run of form together, Brownie, you'll be fine. Or you'll at least be challenging for challenging. So, neighbours come round to watch the Super Bowl. And guys, never look at the table until April as well. A spoiler alert would have been appreciated. I didn't show the first half of the table at first. So you've seen Sheffield Wednesday and then been like, anyway, what's done is done. I'm sorry, David. But anyway, so you know what? Do something else. It's time for our favourite segment of the week. It's the Wanker of the Week. It's the Wanker of the Week. Woof, woof. Ben, who is the Wanker of the Week this week?
Well, there's 11 of them. And there they are. Mixed amongst that lot.
I believe you've... yeah, I should have actually looked for the squad photo. They don't do the photos before the games now, do they?
I don't know.
No, I don't know. But anyway, so for argument's sake, the Wanker of the Week is obviously Huddersfield Town. Why did you select them, Ben?
It's been shit yesterday. Getting my hopes up and then having them dashed.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
Not once, twice.
I expected the comeback, but I did not expect it to happen in a 1-minute burst of 2 goals. And then I did expect it to happen after they then went back in front. Well, I did, but not, not 2 goals in 5 minutes again. I thought at best, they'll draw this 3-3. But not the case. Not the case.
No.
Anyway, and before we do the question of the week anyway, we had, as I said before, Rutter standing on a bench screaming, "Let's go 49ers." and Crescencio Somerville looking like a hostage, saying, let's go 49ers. Do we have a score update, Mr. Ben?
0-0. The Chiefs had just got the ball and they've just kicked it to them, but they got them in the on the 9-yard line. So they'll start their drive from their own 9-yard line.
Okay, fair enough. And
but
so that
49ers have been committing fouls, but not really a great start.
Seems like a group of lads that are letting the occasion get to them. Whereas the Chiefs have been here before, haven't they? Who was here last year. So that being said, matches through the next few weeks. You've gone for Leeds to win at Swansea on Tuesday night. Well, I hope you're right and I'm wrong. But I did think it was a potential banana skin. What we're giving our form. But got to win there. So obviously, don't forget, next week we'll be covering Swansea versus Leeds and obviously mainly Plymouth Argyle versus Leeds United. And it should be fun. And then obviously looking ahead to Leeds versus Leicester, which is obviously as big a game as you can get other than Southampton in about 3 months' time. Before we go, going to do a question of the week. The Mr. Tom question of the week. Yeah. I think I nailed it that time. Anyway.
Should have recorded that one.
Yeah. I thought, as I was doing it, I was like, I'm holding the note. Anyway.
Do you actually thought it?
Yeah. Well, I thought it more out of surprise than anything, Ben.
What note was that, Tom?
It was obviously a D minor or something. I have no idea.
I think it was a Z minor or something. I don't know. It was
like
up
shit
there.
Minor. Yeah, I have no idea. Which Leeds United players were in the starting 11 against Rotherham on the 2nd of April 2016. This is actually the last time we lost to Rotherham. Hence why I quickly retracted when I said Bielsa lost them. I think we drew them under Bielsa. But yeah, we played the 4-1-3-2 formation. Congratulations to John on basically accurately depicting it. I'm sure how it would actually turn out. So that was pretty cool. And Andy Wyman, who purposely handled the ball from 3, so he had his head on it. Schmeichel, no, it's not.
Right, so we've got Charlie Taylor.
Yep.
Brady.
Bear with me, I'm going to find the answers. I wrote them down. So, yep. Okay, so you got Charlie Taylor.
Gaetano Brady.
Yep. I think one of them is part of the Salino 6. Actually, I think you might have 2 of them. Is it 6 or 7? Salino 7. It's not Aylin. It's not Cooper.
Liam Bridcut.
Yep. It's not Vieira, Ronaldo, or Romario.
Mario Antonucci.
Correct. No, sorry, Mirko Antonucci.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. Yep. Who do we have up front in those days?
Chris Wood.
Scored, loads of goals. Yeah, Chris Wood. So you got the attack. You got Bridcut. Who is either side of them? Homegrown. I'll say that the clue is. I believe they're homegrown talent. Anyway, I apologise if it turns out I'm wrong. One play for Bournemouth.
Cook. Lewis Cook.
Yep. The other one, I think he now plays for West Brom. I could be wrong.
Oh, yeah, Mowat. Alex Mowat.
Yep. So we've got the front
Right,
five.
so we've got 2 centre-backs and a goalkeeper.
Yeah. Cool. Eddie Lewis was like 8 years before this, Jim. So the goalkeeper is he's an Italian goalkeeper.
Silvestri,
Yep.
Marco Silvestri.
Yep. So we've got 2 more players to get, I believe. Could be wrong. Centre backs. Who are the centre backs? One was a big cult hero. Warnock loves him. Yep. Like I was gonna say, Warnock would marry this man if he wasn't already married. Who is the final man? You sure are.
Gordon Banks.
Gordon Banks. Yeah, it's Gordon Banks. It's Gordon Banks.
It's Berardi twice.
Nah, Belushi.
I'm not Belushi, yeah.
Belushi. He was part of the players that refused to play, weren't he? Sure he was.
Tamani Diawaka.
Oh, I even forgot that one was there. Always fuck Frank up. That was it. Anyway, and that was who was our manager at the time?
Big boy.
Oh yeah, Mr. Bielsa don't know the league. That aged like fine wine. That comment, it did not age like milk. Anyway, so obviously my apologies to everyone. I mean, this went way longer than I thought it would. So apologies for holding everyone back from the Super Bowl. But
thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. I really appreciate that. For anyone who didn't know, it is on ITV. We did lose that 2-1. And I believe our goal was an own goal, I believe. No, actually, tell a lie. It was a sub scored. I think it was Murphy. Could be wrong. Did remember looking it up. Yeah, none at 11 scored. So, anyway. Ben, was there anything you wanted to say? Something you was talking to me about before the show?
I can't remember.
Cresswell?
Oh, yeah. I don't see the point in 7 minutes. I really don't. I don't think it benefits anyone. I get your point. But
yeah.
So you're going to give him a cameo, 20 minutes. When you're 3-0 up, what harm does it do?
That's fair. Well, the only thing I can really...
Showing his who's boss.
Yeah. But I think I'd see what he does in future games with him. Like, before... Like, because if he then gives him 10, 20, 15... You know, if he then increases that time, then you can tell like he's building up to something. But if it does just continue to be 5 minutes, it's like you say, who is it benefiting?
Yeah.
I mean, does he actually play for the under-21s at the moment? Like,
no.
So it's like he's not match fit. Because you only get match fit by playing matches. If you're not playing, then you're not fit. To some degree. I don't know. I could be wrong.
And also you're losing value.
The thing is that if we did sell him for next to nothing, he will then be really good at a team, and then someone, because he's England under-21, he will then get bought for a lot of money. Like the Burnley goalkeeper.
He's not worth 5 million right now. He's not.
No, but he will be when he's playing football for someone else. I know exactly what you mean there. But anyway, on that note, what's the last thing? I thought I would let Crescencio Somerville and Will he not know? See us out. It's a good night from me. It's a good night from Ben.
Good night from me. Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and have a good week.
Yeah. It's a good night from them. Take care.
Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.